So this is day, I don't even really remember. Look, I said to myself that I was going to catch up on the videos. Um, it didn't happen. It didn't happen. And you know what? That's okay. Um, so I guess I'm just sort of going to do like a little bit of a recap then, I guess. So where we left it off was that I had had a bad day at work. I was really depressed at work. Um, and it's still kind of like, it's embarrassing. I know that I and so many other people are working to end the stigma of mental health issues, but that doesn't mean that it's not embarrassing right now, right? So if we're on the forefront of a movement where, like, one day these things will not be looked at the way they are, and I do recognize that we are getting there, but that doesn't change the fact that, like, right now, um, it's a hard thing to do. And I think that we should be able to talk about it. I think that, if it wasn't, if people who had mental health issues didn't feel like this stigma and shame and like embarrassment about having mental health issues, then I would be able to say things to people like at work and everywhere else. When people are like, "Oh, are you okay? Like, what's wrong?" And I'm like, "Yeah, um, I'm not okay. I suffer from clinical depression. So this is just how I'm going to be today. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's also nothing that we can do about it. This is just sort of how I'm going to be for today." Um, and it's very easy for people to tell when things are wrong, because anyone who knows me um, knows that I'm a very happy individual. I like to have fun, I like to laugh, I like to do all these things, I love to talk to people. Um, and when I'm not like that, people people pick up on it, right? Um, I think they can feel the hollowness, the emptiness. Um, and they can certainly tell by the fact that, like, I am not saying anything to anyone, right? That's usually my go-to spot is like, I'm not gonna say anything to anyone today, and I'm just gonna sort of retreat inside myself. Um, but it's lonely there. It's hard to be there. And I look forward to a day where people don't have to feel the way that I feel. Um, but I also recognize that I may be able to influence that change. Like, I could be the first person at my place of employment to sit down with a general manager and say, "Look, so I know it's only been 2 out of the 7 months that I've worked here, but I have clinical depression, and I know I've come in a couple times and been really, really down. Um, and, in the interest of ending the stigma of mental health, I would like to open up a dialogue with you about that." Um, and when I do decide to do that, it's no longer if. Like, there's no if I do it. Like, I'm going to. This is the thing that I'm going to do. Because I believe very strongly in this. And I also believe that I have the power to make changes. It's think globally, act locally. And I really want to pave the way for other people I was thinking about this. This feels like a weird time to have had this thought, but go with me here. So I was walking through the snow today, and it had been snowing a lot lately. So there was a lot of snow on the sidewalk, and I was thinking, like, it's hard to walk in other people's footprints, but it is easier because the path has already been paved. But I was also thinking in that moment that the new snow is so fresh, it is easier to walk in. It is also harder because there are like a lot of unknowns about it, right? How deep is the snow? Is the snow going to get in my boots? Are my feet going to get wet? And I was relating that to, what's happening in the world right now with mental health problems and the stigma around that. And that, I don't like to take the road so often traveled. I've never been that person. And I think it's really important for me to find new avenues to speak out about the things that I believe in, to pave new roads for new people. Because we have certain roads paved in regards to mental health, but they're not fulfilling what they need to fulfill. They were good before they got us to where we are right now. But they're not the future. They will continue to be there. They will definitely continue to be there, but there are things that need to be adjusted. There are things that need to be completely taken off the table, and new ideas need to be introduced. Now, I don't know what any of those are right now, but what I can tell you is that I'm going to make a concerted effort of myself to give back to the community. And that's gonna mean there's gonna be some, like, off-roading. Some, like, hold on one second. Sorry, my cat snores and it was just pissing me off. Some paving of new roads. Some walking through fresh snow to make the sidewalk wider for everyone. And that's really what I'm most interested in right now. These videos are not just for me. They have been really, really helping me sort of get a flow about what I'm talking about, and getting me outside myself and my depression and looking down on it. Because that's what these really are, right? They're reflection videos. That's what I get a chance to do, is sort of like look at what's been going on in relation to depression and my other mental health issues, although we're just trying to focus on depression right now. But, if the whole world were to see these, and that prospect scares me a little bit. But I think they could be really helpful. I think a lot of people could find some good from this. And that's what I really hope for. But I also know that the world, especially the internet, is like a breeding ground for people to just say what they think, immediately think, and like not filter it at all. And that could potentially be really difficult for me. But we'll cross that bridge when and if we come to it. For now, I have to keep trying to do what I'm doing, because it's important to me. It's important because I've had mental health issues my entire life. And maybe if they were treated as mental health issues when I was younger, I wouldn't have so many more problems. I mean, I'm very adamant about not taking medication because I've had so many horror story things from it. Maybe that could be something else I talk about one other day. But right now, like, winter is really hard for me, right? And it's probably the time when most people tell me I should be taking medication, because I can't exercise as much. And so it gets really hard. So recently I made a pledge to myself that I would take the stairs at every opportunity. Unless, of course, I was, like, going up to someone's apartment, because that's just ludicrous. I'm not walking 20 flights of stairs. But I have watched my life change this week just from taking the stairs. There can be simple actions taken every day to address mental health issues without medication. I mean, I can't think of a better term for it, but I guess it's like maybe high functioning depression, because I can still get out. The times that I'm depressed are short. They didn't used to be, by the way. But now they are. Through, like, all the things I never wanted to do, like positive affirmations, like all these sort of things, getting rid of negative self-talk, exercise, eating well. I've been able to live a fairly normal life now, which is weird. It's really weird. It's still really weird to me. So I guess I just wanted to assure anyone who may watch this that you can take small, manageable steps to help yourself with any mental health issue you may have. It doesn't always have to be medication. Why do we jump immediately to medication? Unless it's like a do or die thing, then you should probably be taking medication. But there are so many things between unmedicated and medicated that you can use as weapons in your fight against your brain. And I think that's a thing that we don't talk a lot about either. Is you can manage your depression, you can live a fulfilling life without having your brain flooded with chemicals. I'm just very anti-medication, and if you are pro-medication, like, please don't think that I'm telling you not to take it. I just have a very firm stance on it. I believe that some people can take medication. I just believe that I can't. I can't, because every time I do, I end up like 250 pounds, or, even more depressed, which is ridiculous, in like a binge eating cycle. I can't even remember what medication I was taking. I think it was like Abilify, but I used to take, like, tubs of peanut butter, like, to my room and just eat it with a spoon because I couldn't control my eating. And at one point, I'm pretty sure I almost died because of medication. I have a feeling that that's where it was going. Like, if the woman I lived with at the time hadn't told me to stop taking it because of what was happening, I'm pretty sure that, like, I would have ended up in the hospital. So medication scares the shit out of me. But for right now, I'm doing fine without it. We'll see. We'll see what happens later. Who knows? It's anyone's guess. But yeah, I mean, everything's been a little up and down all over the place. I'm super stressed right now, but I feel relatively stable even after the little episode like a couple days ago. So yeah, I'll check back in tomorrow and let everybody know what's going on, I guess. Alright.